How Olympic champion Eileen Gu rewires her brain for success. Eileen Gu has attributed her Winter Olympics success to a mental training routine she practices consistently. Born in the United States and now competing for China, Gu captured gold in the women's halfpipe freestyle ski final in Valtellina, posting a score of 94.75 on her third and final run. The 22-year-old also reached the podium in the women's Big A and slopestyle events, securing silver medals in both. Following her performances at this year's Games, she has become the most decorated freestyle skier in Olympic history. Beyond her physical ability, Gu has demonstrated the mental resilience that underpins her standout results. I spend a lot of time in my head. I journal a lot. I break down all of my thought processes, Gu told Fortune. I apply a very analytical lens to my own thinking, and I modify it. You can control what you think. You can control how you think. And therefore, you can control who you are. And especially as a young person, I'm 22. So with neuroplasticity on my side, I can literally become exactly who I want to be. She added, yes, I spend a lot of time in my own head. Yes, I think a lot. But it's not really in an egotistical way. It's in a tinkering, like a scientist way. I'm always trying to modify. I'm trying to think, how can I be better? How can I approach my own brain the way that I approach my craft of free skiing? So that I can be better tomorrow than I was. Arianna Huffington, co-founder of Huffington Post and CEO of Thrive Global, endorsed Gu's approach, saying her brain training ritual and achievements underscore the influence of mindset. Writing on X, she said, athletes don't just magically create routines and habits. They are supported by coaches who use the principles of behavioral science to set them up for success. That means using techniques to reduce decision fatigue and lower stress. Through neuroplasticity, the small choices we repeat every day can strengthen our neural circuits and rewire our brains to make certain behaviors more automatic, which is exactly what Gu has trained her mind to do. For years, scientists believed the adult human brain was largely fixed, developing in childhood before stabilizing in early adulthood with little meaningful change thereafter. Neuroplasticity, however, recasts the brain as a dynamic system shaped by experience, effort, and time. Success at the Olympic level is never an accident. It is engineered through discipline, repetition, resilience, and an extraordinary mastery of the mind. Few athletes embody this truth as powerfully as Eileen Gu. Olympic champion, freestyle skiing prodigy, Stanford student, and global icon, Gu represents more than talent. She represents mental architecture deliberately designed for greatness. Behind every gravity-defying trick and poised interview lies something deeper. A brain trained to thrive under pressure, adapt to fear, and transform setbacks into fuel. Eileen Gu doesn't just train her body. She rewires her brain for success. 1. Reframing fear as information. Freestyle skiing is not for the faint of heart. Launching off icy ramps into spins and flips hundreds of feet in the air requires more than muscle memory. It demands mental command over fear. Most people experience fear as a stop sign. Gu experiences it as a dashboard signal. Neuroscience tells us that fear originates in the amygdala, the brain's alarm system. When activated, it prepares the body to fight, flee, or freeze. For elite athletes, unchecked fear can sabotage performance. But when fear is reinterpreted, it becomes useful data. Gu has often spoken about embracing pressure and nerves rather than fighting them. This reflects cognitive reframing, the ability to reinterpret stress as excitement. Studies show that when individuals label anxiety as excitement, their performance improves dramatically. Instead of thinking, what if I fail? She shifts to, this means I care. My body is preparing me to perform. That subtle shift rewires neural pathways over time. The brain learns that pressure is not a threat. It's a cue for peak performance. 2. Visualization. Training the brain without moving a muscle. Before she lands a new trick in competition, Eileen Gu has already landed it thousands of times in her mind. Visualization isn't imagination, it's neurological rehearsal. Brain scans show that when athletes vividly imagine performing a movement, the same motor cortex regions activate as when they physically perform it. This mental rehearsal strengthens neural circuits without physical strain. For a sport where mistakes can mean serious injury, visualization becomes a safe laboratory for mastery. Gu reportedly visualizes the angle of the takeoff, the rotation speed, the feel of the skis beneath her, the landing impact. She trains her brain to recognize success as familiar territory. When competition day arrives, her mind isn't encountering something new, it's executing a stored blueprint. Repetition creates myelination, the strengthening of neural pathways. The more detailed the mental practice, the more automatic the physical performance becomes. Her brain doesn't panic mid-air because it has been there before. 3. Building identity before results. Many athletes build confidence after winning. Gu builds identity before winning. From a young age, she didn't just practice like a champion, she thought like one. Identity-based psychology suggests that lasting success comes when actions align with who you believe you are. Instead of saying, "I hope to become great," she operates from, "I am someone who performs under pressure." This identity-first mindset influences behavior. When setbacks occur, as they inevitably do, she doesn't question her potential. She adjusts her strategy. Neuroscientifically, identity shapes attention. The brain filters information based on what aligns with self-image. If you see yourself as resilient, you search for solutions. If you see yourself as fragile, you search for confirmation of weakness. Gu's brain is conditioned to confirm strength. 4. Balancing dual worlds. Cognitive flexibility. One of the most remarkable aspects of Eileen Gu's life is her balance. She is not only an Olympic champion but also an academic high achiever, gaining admission to Stanford University. Managing elite athletics and elite academics requires cognitive flexibility, the brain's ability to switch between tasks efficiently. Cognitive flexibility strengthens the prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making, emotional regulation, strategic thinking. Instead of narrowing her world to skiing alone, Gu expands it. This protects her mental health and enhances performance. When identity is diversified, setbacks in one domain don't shatter the whole self. Her brain learns adaptability over rigidity. This flexibility also shows up in competition. If conditions change, wind shifts, snow texture varies, she adapts quickly. She doesn't mentally freeze because her brain is trained for fluidity. 5. Embracing pressure as privilege. At the Beijing Winter Olympics, competing in front of immense public attention, Gu performed under extraordinary pressure. Expectations from 2 nations rested on her shoulders. Pressure can suffocate, or it can sharpen. Gu has described high-stakes moments as opportunities. This reflects a growth mindset, the belief that challenges are pathways to expansion. Neuroscientist Carol Dweck's